Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today as we get into video number 2 out of 2. I gave you video number 1 earlier on today. If you haven't caught that, I'm going to reference it right here now so you can check it out. If you want to pause this and head over there first, like I've said in the past, whatever floats your boat, you do you. But on top of that, as well as video number 1, I'm also going to direct you in the direction of this video from Shootout earlier on today, where myself and George Benson on our brand new football channel Shootout went into detail on our reaction to the Premier League weekend and all the games that took place, including our predictions that we made for those games and whether we were right or wrong. Now, you guys have a chance to get involved as well. Make sure you get into the comment section over on that video to let us know how you are doing. And on top of that, I want to say keep your eyes peeled, because as much as you're getting content on here, you're going to get content on Shootout, and tomorrow there's a video that I think all of you are going to enjoy. So make sure you guys are there for that. You're going to like it. Now, let's get cracking. As I always, before we get started, I say, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell on here to be notified of brand new uploads that are coming on Younes Talks Football, and as well as that, follow on the socials. They are on screen and in the description right now. Now, video number 1 that I've referenced to, we spoke about Balogun and the interest that Chelsea have in Balogun and whether we're actually going to be moving for him. And it seems like there's been an approach, although there's been no bid, but there's been an approach, so contact's been made. But we're going to get into more detail now, because I entertained the idea, albeit the fee looks like it could be about 50 million, and that's where I'm a little bit unsure and whether we should spend that much on a Balogun. But the player as a striker and what he brings, after a bit of research, might have something to him. Might. Right? The numbers don't lie. So, let's get into the latest. Fabrizio Romano spoke about what is going on between Chelsea and Folarin Balogun. So, let's get on with it. Here it is. Chelsea had conversations with Folarin Balogun's agent last week. They were informed of the potential deal, but there were no negotiations and nothing concrete. Arsenal want important money. Let's see what Chelsea decides to do with the striker position. This is where, the fact that Arsenal want important money. What's important money? 20 million is not important money. 30 million is not really important money. Anything above that begins to feel a bit important, but Arsenal want important money. That's 50 mil, isn't it? This is where I'm not gonna lie. After seeing the numbers and seeing what he's actually done, seeing the way that he plays, I think that there's one side of me, because I like to be transparent on here, whether I'm right or I'm wrong, because I'm going to get moments where I'm right and I'm going to get moments where I'm wrong. But that's the beauty of it, and that's where we go on this journey and we get to learn together. The only thing is that I display my opinion to all of you and you guys enjoy it, so this is why we're here. But I'll be real with you. There's one half of me that's thinking, 50 million... it's too much. It's too much. For someone that's not proven, it's too much. It's just not, no. We should not pay that money for someone who was playing Premier League 2 and was sent on loan to France and now hasn't really played Premier League football, right? In the same way, if someone had mentioned, let's go and pay 50 million for Carney Chukwuemeka, because they're the same level. Carney Chukwuemeka was playing for Aston Villa under-21s in Premier League 2. And the one thing that Balogun has over Chukwuemeka is Balogun went over and had an actual senior professional loan over in League 1 and finished as the league's 4th top goal scorer. I get that. But still, imagine if we paid 50 million for Chukwuemeka, we'd be a little bit like, what the hell are we doing? That's where half of me is thinking that, but the other half is thinking, as a striker, those numbers don't lie. Like I said, a striker's getting above one, so the average I like to pinpoint it at, like I said in video number 1, is if a striker's getting 1 goal every 2 games, that's the bare minimum average that I like. If you're getting more within 2 games, over 1 goal every 2 games, that's where I begin to raise some eyebrows and go, who is this guy? Balogun is there. So I've got a part of me thinking, nah, it's not worth it. And I've got a part of me thinking, oh man, if we do this in 2 years, we're going to have the flipping, creme de la creme. We're going to have one of the best strikers on the planet. But I don't want to get too ahead of myself, and I want to think logically. Logically, never let your emotions dictate your thinking. Never. It's the worst thing you can do. So that's something to take away from this video aside from football. Never, right? Your emotions are your emotions, but don't let it drive your logic. So for now, I am leaning more towards the side of let's not. Let's not. But let's see how this story goes. Let's see how the story goes. Let me know your thoughts down below. Now, talking about someone that I think many people were already going on Balogun and thinking, nah, let's not. I think for this guy I'm about to show you, all of you are going to go, hell no, right? And I get it. So let's get into the latest on Brennan Johnson. Chelsea appreciate Brennan Johnson as a talented player, but didn't submit any bid, not negotiating to sign Brennan as of today. Club looking at different options in that position as things stand. Okay, this is where, when the first link came out of him, I said, I hope it's a smokescreen. Because, with all due respect, Brennan Johnson, when you look at Brennan Johnson play for Nottingham Forest, good player. But just because someone's a good player, it doesn't mean that we should move and buy him. That's not how the world works. And you can't expect every single good player to end up at Chelsea Football Club. If not, there'd be no good players left, right? Every team that's aiming to go to the top or is at a decent level or is playing Premier League football, you're going to have good players. That's standard, right? If not, you wouldn't be playing Premier League football. Brennan Johnson's one of those guys. Good player. But should Chelsea go for Brennan Johnson? Probably not. Probably not. So now we have to ask ourselves, who are Chelsea going for? Who are Chelsea going for now? This is the question I asked a couple of days ago, and we still really haven't got an answer. However, today is the day where, for this video number 2, I think many of you are going to be picked up on the mood. You're going to be slightly happier. You're going to be a little relieved. Although nothing's concrete, but it's starting to sound better. Why? Because we are now returning back to basics, and it seems like the names that are now being rumoured across the spectrum as of today are the names we've been asking for. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Here's the latest from Bobby Vincent. Ryan Cherki and Mohamed Kudus remain on Chelsea's radar going into the final 10 days of the window, but other options are also being considered. I believe what we just saw right now, Cherki and Kudus, I think one of them is false and one of them is true. Which one and why? I'll show you now. Let's get into it. This is who I think is true. Watch Kudus, says Fraser Fletcher. Chelsea have had Kudus on radar and understand conditions. It is a possibility at this stage, as previously reported. Brennan Johnson talks ongoing, as reported elsewhere, and Barcolo liked by club also. So, that's from Fraser Fletcher. But we've also got the latest on Kudus as of today, which is from Fabrizio. Here it is. West Ham's second bid for Kudus was also higher than Brighton's bid sent at the beginning of the month and agreed with Ajax. Position changed now. It's not enough to sell Kudus. That references a piece of news from earlier on that West Ham have submitted a package worth 42 million euros, which is in fact more than what was put on the table by Brighton, which they had a deal agreed with and couldn't agree personal terms. They put 34 million pounds on the table, 34 and a half. And I think that comes to about, if I'm not mistaken, 40 million euros? 42 million euros is slightly higher. 42 million euros, you're looking in between 35 to 36 million pounds, I think. So if Ajax have turned them down, saying no to this, hear me out. Hear me out. This is where I believe the Cherki link is false. Cherki's not leaving Lyon. That's dead. It's dead. It's not happening. If something happens in the last 10 days, then Chelsea are absolutely incredible. But I don't see it happening. Although I think Cherki will be the perfect fit, I think that disciplinary attitude, mentality thing is going to be an issue that Chelsea don't want to entertain. So there's that. But Kudus, this is a deal that is very, very, very doable. Very doable. What are we doing? Like, I hope Chelsea are just waiting to see what happens with these bids, how far West Ham will go, and then move at a certain time. As I've said, and as we've seen here, there's 10 days of the window left. We need to get a move on. And we need to get a move on other aspects, and one I'm going to come to next. You're going to want to hear this. But in terms of Kudus, I think he fits the bill right now in terms of what we need in that attacking midfield position. And even from there, you have someone who is flexible enough to play on either flank. I see this deal as a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer to bring in Kudus. We all had Kudus as the favourite, our favourite, in terms of the choice between Kudus and Olise. Cherki news already started to filter down, and we didn't really hear much of it, so we started to think, okay, it's not going to happen. Between Kudus and Olise we thought was going to happen, it was meant to happen, he probably thought it was happening, and then boom, all of a sudden he signed a 4-year deal and he's being held hostage at Crystal Palace. So that's a different story for a different day. Good luck, Olise. That deal's dead. So Kudus is now here, available. West Ham can't get a deal done. Let's move. But I agree to not move just yet. Time this. This has to be timed perfectly. If West Ham get one more bid rejected, then we move with a higher bid. If they get it accepted, we match the bid. Simple as that. That's all we got to do. And then the choice is down to the player. So let's see what's going to happen. But Kudus, keep an eye out. I think Kudus isn't dead yet. Not literally. But this deal for Kudus, I think, is still on the table. And I've got a sneaky suspicion that going into deadline day, the last big move Chelsea might make could be Kudus. So let's see. That's my prediction. Let me know what you think down below and your thoughts on this possibility. Now, talking about having to, get things going in the last 10 days, right? What are we doing? What are we doing with this guy? Romelu Lukaku, 30. I love how we just had to reference how old he is there, by the way. Just saying. Is training with the Chelsea under-21s team and has not even spoken to Mauricio Pochettino yet, reports Matt Law. There is very little interest in the striker at this stage. I don't know. At this point, I don't know what to ask for. I don't know. I don't know what club to turn to. I don't know what association to turn to. I don't know what asylum to turn to. What are we going to do? The fact he's not even spoken to Poch is a disgrace, by the way. Can I just say that? I mean, I would rather it that way, personally, because we know. But if he was genuine, if he was real, right? Come on. You'd make the... After knowing what you've done, after knowing the mess that you've caused, after knowing the craziness and the saga that you have created, not amongst one club, but amongst multiple clubs at the same time, all hating you for the same reason, you'd think he would wake up one morning and go, it might have actually been my fault. I think I'm the one that messed up here. I think I need to make amends. Where can I make amends? I think I've been in the wrong. You'd think, nah. Because if he had done that, he would think, you know what? I've got to think about my future here. I've got to be logical. I've blown a lot of bridges. I've burnt a lot of bridges. There might be a possibility I might not move. So you know what? Chelsea have a new manager. I've not gotten to I've not spoken to him yet. I've not gotten to know him yet. Let's try and see if there's a way for me to get on good terms, right? And who knows what might happen. At least I give myself an option. If he was logical, and if he was real, and if he was sincere, and if he regretted what he was doing, he would think that way. And he would make the effort to go to Poch and introduce himself and say, I hope we can, at your discretion, I hope we can, talk at some point and see, right? Because I understand the situation, but I want to do my best. Simple as that. I want to do my best, right? If he understood the situation, he would come with that logic. He would come with that with that remorse. He ain't got any. He ain't got any. The fact he's not even spoken to Poch is a disgrace. He's at Cobham with the under-21s. He's not even made the effort to go and talk to the manager. And anyone that thinks that the manager needs to go and make the effort to talk to him after everyone knows what the situation is, no. Because that removes the authority from the manager. No, I'm sorry. In this situation, you come to me. Simple. He doesn't want to. Good. As far as I'm concerned, good. Because that tells us exactly what we're dealing with here. We need to get rid of this guy. At this point, look, if it comes to it, terminate the contract. I couldn't care less. Take the financial hit, take the fine. I don't care at this point. And that's not logical. That's why I think Chelsea, look, try and find a solution. If worse comes to worse and the transfer window ends, terminate his contract. Just terminate it. I mean, what can we do? But we need to find a solution. If we can, in the last 10 days, find the club. I don't care if it's Dulwich Hamlet. Do you want me to go and talk to Dulwich Hamlet? They're not far from me. I can head over to Dulwich Hamlet. I can try and talk to their owner or something. Knock on their door. Hello, I'm Younes Talks Football, right? I've been sent. Do you want a striker? do you want a striker? What funds do you have, right? Let's try and get this deal done. Who's a striker? You're going to love him. He goes by the initials of RL, right? He's played international football before. Trust me, you won't believe it. He's a great player. He'd do great here. Not much pressure because there's not many fans here. So, I think he would find his head. Do something. Find the club. Find the club. I couldn't care if it's Accrington Stanley or if it's Maidstone FC or I don't know. FC United of Manchester. I don't know. Find a club. So let's wait and see what happens. Let me know your thoughts down below. Now, before we wrap up, a couple of things I have to mention. One of them is this. This has to be mentioned, and fair play for the fact that this has now gone down this direction. Here it is. Alex McAllister's 3-match suspension has been overturned following a claim of wrongful dismissal for his red card versus Bournemouth on Saturday. Can I just say, I don't understand. How is it possible? Right, and I'm close to the mic here because this needs to have emphasis on it. You need to hear this, right? How is it possible? Someone explain. A challenge is made during the game. Referee deems it as a possible red card. Okay, cool. He's blown the whistle. Foul's given. I think I'm going to give a red. But I'm going to check with VAR first. VAR have a look, and they have a look from multiple angles. They check from every single possible angle. They slow the flipping tape down. They look at the impact. They do all sorts, right? They can look at it in fast time. They can look at it in slow time. They can look at it in extra quick time. They can look at it at flipping minuscule time. I don't care, whatever time, right? They can have all the possibilities in the world to look at whatever angle and time they want. And they still get it wrong. And then it gets appealed, and then someone else goes, nah, you know what, it was a wrong decision. Yeah, overturn it. What? How? How is that possible? What are VAR doing then? What are VAR doing? I can understand that the ref is unsure. The game moves quick. Sometimes you look and go, not so sure. And back in the day, the referee would have had to just make a decision. Red card, here you go, red card, I'm sorry. And then later on, he looks at it, I got it wrong. You can understand, that's human error. But for someone in VAR or a team of refs in VAR to look at a footage and go, that's a red card. And then later on, it gets overturned because it was a wrong and unfair dismissal. What are we doing? It's crazy. That challenge was nowhere near a red card. Borderline yellow. Borderline at best. Free kick, yeah. That's it. The fact that both players were going for the ball, you expect some contact to happen. It's a contact sport. Sometimes just things happen. It is what it is, right? And even then, it wasn't a malicious tackle. It wasn't a red card challenge. Rightfully overturned. But how did we get to this point in the first place? The refereeing in this country, this is why I wanted to mention it. The refereeing in this country is a disgrace. On a crazy level, absolutely crazy level, at levels we don't see in other European countries. I've said this time and time again. It's incredible how bad the refereeing is here. We have the best league in the world, the most eyes on it, the best entertainment, the best unpredictability. We have all sorts. 20th can beat first, 15th can beat second. It can happen at any day or the given week, right? But the refereeing holds us back so much. It's crazy. So, VAR, everyone involved, despicable. Absolutely despicable. Now, to end on a funny note, Burnley unveiled a signing today, and they decided to do this. Now, I can't show you the tape, because it's copyrighted, but they took a clip from the new film Barbie, right? And this Barbie film that's gone around, which has done my head in, but anyway. That's one story for a different day. Burnley have used a clip from that film to unveil a signing. Go and look at it, right? You can pause this video, go and check it out, and then come back if you want, right? If you haven't seen it already. But what I'm going to say is this about Burnley. Burnley, I have seen you play only 90 minutes of Premier League football since you've returned to the top flight. And already, I have to say, and I want to say, I hope you get relegated. Just for that. What in the blue hell is this? What is this unveiling? What is that announcement? I saw it and I was like, nah, I want you to get relegated. You deserve relegation just for that. Whoever's idea that was should get sacked. Horrific idea. But anyway, Let me know your thoughts down below in relation to everything that I've shown you. Much appreciated, people. Thank you all so much. And do not forget, hit the subscribe button on here to make sure you're catching all the uploads as they come in. Don't forget to check out the social media links. They are on screen and in the description for you right now. And on top of that, check out Shootout. Make sure you are there. Video dropping tomorrow, which you're going to like. I know all of you are going to like it. And on top of that, don't forget to check out the video that we've put out today, which is our reaction and our review to the Premier League weekend and all the results and our predictions for that and whether we got it right or we got it wrong. So make sure you guys are all there. Much appreciated. And yeah, check out the socials. Links are in the description. Make sure you hit all of them now. Give us a follow and thank you very much. And I will see all of you tomorrow for a couple of new ones. Thank you all so much. Have a good one, people. See you tomorrow. Take care and peace.